We human beings are like icebergs. Not in the sense that we're cold, although sometimes some of us can be that way, but in the sense of us being a floating mass of frozen energy, with only a small portion of us being visible. An iceberg only has 1/8 of its mass above the surface of the water. The remaining 7/8 is invisible to the eye. It's underwater. It's hidden, just like us. At most, 20% of us is our physical body, and the remaining 80% is non-physical, and therefore hidden from our sight. Due to our lifelong perceptual download of who we think we are, the sack of bones, we don't see anything else. We see a person, fat, skinny, short, tall, black, white, LGBTQ, fluid, trans. We see a body. We often describe ourselves by what we do, but not what we are. Many years ago, I read a book called Light, The Medicine of the Future by Dr. Lieberman, and learned about the numerous experiments with light and vision that permanently improved people's eyesight and restored vision to people who were once legally blind. And in his most recent book, Luminous Life, Dr. Jacob Israel Lieberman tells many stories from his journey as an ophthalmologist to becoming a scientist studying the healing power of light and color, and to his current role as a mentor to a circle of friends that he supports by being fully present and listening to the wisdom as it is revealed through the light within each person. Dr. Lieberman writes, "Our physical eyes are designed to see the outer world of form. Our spiritual eyes are designed to see the invisible. When these eyes collaborate fluidly, congruence and coherence meld into one and signal a new way of being. That he calls presence. With presence, we respond to life like the leaves of a sun-loving plant, turning to the essence of the universe, what feeds us, light. Every single cell is, by definition, a battery. Our cells are constantly charging, energizing, containing, transmitting, and making a current of energy that illumines the body and mind. We emit a force. Some of us are a force of nature, and others of us may feel like we have been unplugged, but we are each luminous beings. As the Vedic prayer we read earlier affirmed, we are not other than light. Light is our very nature. When we contract and we try to hold on too tightly to life, we become like a dead branch instead of a living, flowing, flowering tree. Thomas Crum, a keto master, used to do this demonstration, and he would have someone come up from the audience and put their arm out, and with their muscle, try and keep their arm up. And if someone does that, tries to strong arm, it's very easy to push their arm down. And then he would have that person, it didn't matter whether they were some skinny kid or some big guy, imagine that their arm was like a fire hose, and that its energy was strongly flowing out in this extraordinary flow of light. And you could not bend that arm. With that simple visualization, you can try this at home. He was able to demonstrate the power of the flow of energy through anyone's arms. Take a deep breath. Allow your energy to flow out of your arms. Relax your limbs. Tense your muscles for a moment. Just hold them really, really tense. Make fists and just squeeze your toes and make your whole body as tense as you can. And now let it go. And if you're at home and you can move around easily, just shake a little bit. Shake it out. Let your blood flow. Warm your heart. And send your love, your light, throughout your body. You can feel when your body is in the flow of energy. You can feel the love. You can feel the light. You can feel the energy. It's like a ray that is expanded out into the world when you are feeling really centered and open and blessed. And that's because you're a living body, not a fixed thing, not a machine, but a flowing event, like a river, a flame, or a whirlwind. And when you're in the flow of life, all kinds of synchronicities happen. And you know and you experience that you are being guided by the light. You feel connected, supported, and strong in spirit, which is another word for light. One thing that is important to note: a shift in consciousness is a shift in neurology. You feel better when you think in a more expanded way. When you're closed-minded and contracted, your heart isn't open, you act very small. From a place of fear, that's the little me. If, when you feel that, you can stop and breathe, relax, and center yourself, expand, and consciously allow the flow of energy to circulate within you and out into the world, you will begin to amplify your energy and improve your health. You'll begin to be in harmony with gravity itself and all the laws of nature. When you expand your energy, you can breathe into your best qualities. When you're contracted, you cannot. So what do you need? Resilience. See yourself like a willow tree, bending in the wind, and breathe that in. Move with that. Do you need faith? Imagine yourself like a mountain, solid as a rock. Breathe that in. Are you afraid? Does all this news about the coronavirus scare you? Embrace that fear. We say in the East, embrace tiger, return to mountain, right? Embrace everything. It's all good. There's no bad emotion. Embrace that fear. And in doing so, you become more peaceful, stronger. By trying to push it away, by trying to resist it, you become weaker. You dissipate your energy. But when you breathe into what's in front of you, whether it's fear or confusion, whether it's lack of trust, whatever it is, if you are able to embrace it and breathe through it, on the other side of that, there will always be strength. When you breathe in the brave heart of the lion, it will penetrate every cell, and you will be able to share that courage with the world. Emotions and feelings can accelerate everything we think by a factor of many times. That's why it's so important to be careful not to allow our emotions to become attached to other people's negative thoughts or unduly influenced by advertising, news reports, or politicians. And that in and of itself requires a lot of practice to become unshakable by other people's thoughts. To not allow your energy, your emotion to be aroused by the news. To be so centered in your own largesse, your own expanded self, your own lightness, that whatever crosses your path is just what it is. Somebody else, their opinion, their image, their thought. Gandhi once said, "No one has the right to walk through my mind with their dirty feet." Let me say that again. No one has the right to walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Today, with everything that's happening, supposedly or not, in our world, we have to be very disciplined with what we take in. Very careful not to allow other people's anger, judgment, opinions, or consensus reality to cloud our mind, close our heart, and deplete our energy. So how can we do this? How can we shine a light during a pandemic? How can we be the light in our current world situation? First, we can remember, whatever the circumstances, whatever is going on in our world, it is divine. There is no place on this earth that God is not. We say that all the time, right? Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Do you believe it? Adversities are our spiritual teachers, and COVID-19 is definitely teaching us and reminding us and empowering us to be healthy, strong, and self-reliant. It's bringing out the best in some people and the worst in others. And so much in our society right now is coming up to be healed. So much of what we see when we turn on any channel is the worst of us. And in the worst of times, when the worst of us is coming up to be healed, when we're brought to our knees with pain and suffering, when we're totally lost and confused, that is the time when we are the most open to intuition, to guidance, to remembrance, to help from beyond. We come through suffering being grateful for life itself, for health itself, for our loved ones, for any simple freedom. We become lighter, freer, happier for shedding so much of what was non-essential anyway. We can find clarity in the midst of adversity. You know, as a result of overuse of computers and handheld devices, deteriorating vision is now one of the world's largest and growing health problems. I would say that's true spiritually. Confining our vision to this device, to this social media, confining our reality to such a small little world. You know, on one hand, we think it opens us up to the world, but it does not. It only opens us up to that little world, that little person transmits to us. So freeing our eyes to see things far away is very liberating. Looking for the edges of things, looking for shades of color, looking for movement in the distance. These are all things that will not only improve your eyesight, but also improve your mental and emotional health. Research shows that simply looking up can relieve depression. When's the last time you went outside and looked up? When's the last time you were stargazing or looking at the shapes of clouds? I guarantee you can hold me to this. If you spent as much time outside freeing your vision as you did on these little devices, you would be so much happier and so much healthier. Too much thinking feeds the monkey mind and starves the energy body. Conscious deep breathing and relaxed seeing calms the mind and feeds life energy. It actually gives vitality. Awareness of your breath gives insight into your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Let me say that again. Awareness of your breath will give you insight into your own mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Many of us don't even know how we breathe or if we're breathing. We're so out of touch with our own body and our own spirit. So do it. Take this on. Tune into your own breath all day long. Anytime you think of it, notice, am I holding my breath? Am I breathing at all? Am I breathing too fast? And breathe consciously. Breathe deeply. If you do this, if you check your breath throughout the day and you breathe more, you'll oxygenate your brain. Suddenly you'll remember more things. Suddenly you'll think sharper. And the pains will subside in all those places where you've been constricting the flow of your own blood. Sometimes the simplest things are the most difficult to do. So I challenge you, be conscious of your breath all day long. Your luminous breath is your key to life energy and knowing the light that you are. Open your eyes and look. Look at things you haven't seen in your own neighborhood. look at your own eyes in the mirror until you see the light. And if you can't see the light in your own eyes, then do something about it. Do a simple affirmation. I love you. I see you. You're beautiful, until that light comes forth. Otherwise, why go out? When you look in the mirror and see the twinkle in your own eye, you can then also have the courage to look into other people's eyes and see the twinkle in theirs. And that will expand your light, and it will expand their light, and you will feel that expansion. Make eye contact. Do it with your pets. I was telling a friend that, my dog is very concerned about my moving. And I went away for just one day, and she stayed with somebody she always stays with and she really loves. But when she came back, she wouldn't look me in the eye for 24 hours. I kept going like this, Lola, I'm here. And she'd be like a cat, And that, I think, is a sign of how important it is to connect with our eyes, with our pets, with our friends, with our family, and see the light in them and let them know, I see you, I love you, I'm with you. Medieval mystic Meister Eckhart said, the eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one eye, one seeing, one knowing, one love. You are God's eyes in this world. You are the light of the world. You are a luminous being. And now